Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Guys of Magic. This is Hunter, David, and Shane. Say what up, boys.
What's going on?
What's up, nerds?
Yeehaw! That's right. We are back in the Wild West. This is Outlaws of Thunder Junction. We are wanted, apparently.
We are.
Shout out. Shout out to Shane. Um, but yeah, we got some brand new awesome spoilers from this new set. Today being March 27th, 2024. Yeah, lots of cool cards to talk about. You guys talked about some first day spoilers type stuff. But before we get started, I just want to remind everybody to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you can keep up to date with everything else that be going on, as well as, hey, we only talk about the rares and mythics in these videos, but if you wanted to see all of the spoilers through every single day, follow us on Instagram, and we post all the other ones there. Also, if you like cards on Instagram that we don't talk about, we kind of do a wrap-up on the final day based on how much likes we get on those cards that we didn't talk about. We'll talk about those. So, let's go ahead and get these new cards started. This first one, High Noon. It's 1 and a white. For an enchantment, it says each player can't cast more than one spell each turn. It also has another ability that you can pay 4 and a red, sacrifice High Noon. It deals 5 damage to any target.
I love
David, you
stacks.
mentioned, I was going to say, David, you mentioned this card earlier when this was spoiled as a little group chat. What does it remind you of?
It reminds me of Rule of Law, but this one also has red.
Obvious.
Bad rule of
Obviously, you
law.
can't. It's good rule of law. What do you mean?
I want to play it in those those colors of I'm playing stacks, dude.
Yeah, stacks is normally kind of mono white or blue white. So if you're playing Commander, do be wary that this has a red pip, so you cannot play it in those type of decks.
Bummer.
I think it's totally fine. There are stack decks out there that do have red in there as well. And I mean, also on top of that, like this does come down on turn 2, so it's cheap. It comes down early. And then whenever you don't need it anymore, it's got a self-destruct button
That's
that
true.
also hits something.
Hit someone in the face in standard if you wanted to. Seems good.
Yeah, that's a pretty annoying in standard.
Speaking of standard, this is a solution to Shieldred. 5 damage.
Oh, to any target. Interesting. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Take care of their pesky creature, or just go for face if you think you can burn them down. I like this card. I think this kind of like punishes decks that are trying to not play fair magic and just like do the one thing per turn. But being in Boros does make this a little bit more restrictive in terms of like what you can play it with.
Okay, David, you can say makes it not as good.
It makes it better. Let's be honest.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and move on, though. I think we're all pretty high on this. High Noon. Next card, Aven Interrupter. It's 1 and 2 white for a 2/2 creature bird rogue. It's got flash, it's got flying, and it says when it enters the battlefield, exile target spell, it becomes plotted. It also says spells your opponents cast from graveyards or from exile cost 2 more to cast.
Wait,
Pretty
what?
cool.
I like this one a lot. So
White
not only is
counter,
it like
yeah.
interrupting your opponent, but it also like has that additional kind of tax effect, and it casts a wider net. So it's not like just only interrupting the one spell that it happened to like plot, but from here on out, like it's messing with other cards that your opponents are trying to plot. It's messing with things from their graveyard. So it's doing a lot. I do like this card.
Oh, I see. Because plot was normally free, and now you're making him pay 2 to cast the plot card.
Yep.
Plot also,
Got
keep
it.
in mind, you cannot cast plot cards until your next turn.
Right.
So
So
you
it's a
are
little bit of a
stuttering whatever
delay.
that card is for a turn, plus 2 extra. Yeah.
Okay. No, I understand now.
Also, this just fizzles out counter spells. It pretty much makes counter spells useless. Unless they, because you can only cast it as a sorcery.
That is
Pretty
true.
cool.
Okay.
Got a little bit of a
In.
white counter. I'm here for it.
I'm in.
Yeah, this card is very powerful. I think this will be one of the more cards sought after in this set, if I'm being real. But yeah, Aven Interrupter. Interrupted. Good card. Moving on. We have Step Between Worlds. It's 3 and 2 blue for sorcery. Each player may shuffle their hand and graveyard into their library. Each player who does draws 7 cards. Exile Step Between Worlds. It also has a plot cost of 4 and 2 blue. This seems like a card right up David's alley.
I don't think this is, to be honest with you. It affects each player. I don't like having my opponents potentially draw and refill their hands. Plus, this is 5 mana. I don't think I would play this at 3.
You don't think you would plot it, and whenever you have like, I don't know, a combo going on, you could just cast that for free.
Yeah, but if I have my combo, that generally means I'm either winning the game or it's like the combo's in my hand, in which case I'm now just like pitching that. I don't know. I'm actually not here for this card at all. So this will be my pre-release rare.
Yeah.
What do you think, Shane?
I was gonna say, I feel like whenever we do upgrades of any kind, you say the one thing of like we don't like helping our opponents, and this does kind of help your opponents. So you better have, like David said, the win somehow with this, because your opponent's gonna be like, cool, dude, I don't like my hand either.
Unless you have that option of players can't draw more than,
That's true.
what is that? Yeah.
Or if
Yeah,
you have the
if
thing
you
that,
have like Narset.
yeah,
Mhm.
that would be crazy. Or another one that's like, whenever your opponent would draw it, they don't draw, but you draw instead. Be pretty good.
At the same time, though, like if you happen to have something like a Narset, Windfall is just better because that forces them to pitch their hand. This doesn't. They have the option. So if they have good cards, they're going to say, no, I'm just going to keep that. If they have bad cards, congrats, you just help them draw potentially good cards.
Yeah, I don't think I'm here for it.
Yeah, I just wanted to see what you guys thought. I'm also not on board with Step Between Worlds, but comment down below if you guys are. Let's move on to Roxanne. This is Starfall Savant. It's 3 and a red and a green for a 4/3 legendary creature cat druid. So whenever Roxanne Starfall Savant enters the battlefield or attacks, create a tapped colorless artifact token named Meteorite with when Meteorite enters the battlefield, it deals 2 damage to any target, and tap, add 1 mana of any color. It also says, whenever you tap an artifact token 4 mana, add 1 mana of any type that artifact token produced. This might be something I build.
It's like a super treasure.
Yeah. Well, it's a meteor, bro. Or a meteorite, not a meteor. Very big distinction there.
You don't need to sack it, you just tap it.
Mm-hmm. So it's a repeatable effect. It deals damage. And if this thing is in play, it adds like a ton of mana for you.
And it just starts pinging people every time it attacks.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I mean, I know that it's doing a lot more than just being or giving you that mana dork thing, but isn't it kind of weird that it's expensive and then it gives you the mana? Like, I know the last card we talked about, David, like yesterday, similar to this.
I think that's kind of the downfall of this card, to be completely honest. So 5 mana for a 4/3. That, yes, it does have an ETB, but from that point on, like it's really going to care about actually being able to turn sideways and swing in. This is not going to survive very many combats. So you're probably paying 5 mana for maybe 1, maybe 2 meteorites. Is that worth it? I'm going to argue no.
Unless you had token doublers on the field.
Even with token doublers, I'm still going to argue no. I want my commander to be like actively progressing me towards something, and I don't want my ramp coming in on turn 5. I feel like if you do want to play a big ramp deck, then there's probably better options for you. This reminds me more of some of the like artifact tokens matters commanders that we've gotten more so as of late. Where you just kind of like super gum up your board with a bunch of different like treasures and clues and maps and blood and like all the other things, and now you can add meteorites to that.
Yeah.
I'm here for it. I said it from the beginning. This is something I might build, but we will talk more when it comes to a commander in our commander grades video, so stay tuned.
What was that? Wait, one more quick thing. What was that? The token artifact that was really being pushed during like Brothers War or Martial Machine? Remember, we weren't really like for it, but then what if you just build a deck full of those? Why can't I remember the name of that?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, yes, you do, dude. It was a new type of token that like only could tap and help you.
Power Stone.
Power Stones.
Oh, yeah, Power Stones.
Build a Power Stone deck, dude.
There you go.
You could.
But you can only cast artifacts.
That's true. So I don't know if it's good or not. So whatever. This is maybe a moot point. So okay.
I don't know. I like it. Good point. Let's move on to a beautiful reprint. That's right. It is Archangel of Tithes. It's 1 and 3 white for a 3/5 creature angel. It's got flying. It says as long as Archangel of Tithes is untapped, creatures can't attack you or planeswalkers you control unless their controller pays 1 for each of those creatures. And it also says as long as it's attacking, creatures can't block unless their controller pays 1 for each of those creatures. Like I said, this is a reprint, so we've seen it before. It is A very powerful card.
Yes, it is.
Do you think this might see some standard play?
100%, yeah. Giada still in standard.
Oh,
There is currently an angel deck right now in standard that getting a lot of play. So
well, if there's an angel deck in standard, then yeah. It's
Yeah,
probably
good card
mono
is
white.
good.
Yeah.
Good card is good.
Good reprint card is good.
Moving on to a new print of Marchesa. It's Marchesa, Dealer of Death. It is blue, black, red for a 3/4 legendary creature human rogue. It says whenever you commit a crime, you may pay 1 mana. If you do, look at the top 2 cards of your library, put one of them into your hand and the other into your graveyard. As a quick reminder, what is committing a crime? That is targeting opponents, anything they control, and or cards in their graveyard is a crime. Do you like it, Shane?
I don't know. I feel kind of just like I'm sure that it seems good, but I'm not drawn to it immediately, so maybe David can talk me into it if he's got some cool strat, some cool tech that I'm missing out.
I don't like cards that have to be mana sinks to do anything. So sadly, this Marchesa does not inspire me.
There you go. You heard it here first.
Yeah. I mean, if you had an unlimited mana source somewhere, pairing this up with like Eater of the Dead, which you pay 0 to target something to exile it from a graveyard, and then do that in response to doing that, you can just loop it over and over. You can draw your whole deck and find the cards you need.
Yeah.
Hold up. You mean to tell me if you have unlimited mana, you can win the game?
Believe it or not, yeah.
If you
Alright, just
break
checking.
magic, you can win the game. Okay.
Turns out unlimited mana is good.
But yeah, we'll talk once again. Being legendary, we'll talk more in our Commander Grades video. Speaking of another legendary creature, we have Bruse Tarl, Roving Rancher. It's 2, a red and a white for a 4/3 legendary creature human warrior. It says oxen you control have double strike. It also says when it enters the battlefield or attacks, exile the top card of your library. If it's a land card, create a 2/2 white ox creature token. Otherwise, you may cast it until the end of your next turn.
Hunter, I think that this is a perfect commander for you.
No, it's not.
Oh, you always top deck lands. This makes creatures with the lands that you would top deck.
That's true.
Yeah.
And it's Boros. And
It's Boros, dude.
That's true as well. As someone that loves Neali that says token creatures you get double strike, I think it's just better.
I mean, yeah. This is way more restrictive.
Yeah, this is a restrictive Neali, which I don't know why you'd ever play this over it, but here we are.
I mean,
Bruse Tarl.
if you like playing shenanigan style decks, here you go.
If you like pina coladas, you might like Bruse Tarl.
Yeah.
Good enough to see play in standard? How many oxen are there?
I mean,
The oxen are
this
only coming
set,
from this
there
guy,
are-
dude.
There are a couple different oxen in this set.
See, there you go, dude. Oxen tribal. You're gonna drop this dude on turn 4 after you've curved out. Your oxen gonna have double strike. Your whole board. Turn it on for double strike. I can see it now.
Ollie oxen free. What about?
Yeah, there was an ox already spoiled in this set. That was a common called Holy Cow.
I was gonna say that. Okay. I was gonna say, what about holy cow? But okay. All the words from my mouth, dude.
Now speak faster. Let's move on to this next card. It is Kellan Joins Up. It's a green, a white, and a blue for a legendary enchantment. It says when it enters the battlefield, you may exile a non-land card with mana value 3 or less from your hand. If you do, it becomes plotted. And it says whenever a legendary creature enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Seems good.
That does seem good. I like that.
Legendary creature tribal.
Yeah, and I like the first part of plotting. I do like that a lot of these cards that are caring about 3 or less mana value and exiling them, like Spree works really well with those cards because they're always pretty low.
Out of curiosity, though, with a Spree card, if you plot something with Spree and you then go to cast it, are you able to escalate it?
I believe so. The same way that if you go to Cascade an Everflowing Chalice, you can pay into that on the stack I'm gonna say it's the same way. You can pay the additional modes.
Something cool that you can do with this card, like before in Standard, there was a way to cheat in the flippable Valky. You could do that with this. Meaning Valky, the front half costs 2, but then you can cast it for free on its back half. For a 7 mana Planeswalker.
Interesting. Interesting. So you would plot it from this card and then interesting.
Cast on the backside for free. Yeah.
Huh.
Yep.
That's pretty good.
Ways to cheat things. Let's just go ahead and move on to the next card. This is Riku of Many Paths. It is a green, a blue, and a red for a 3/3 legendary creature human wizard. It says whenever you cast a modal spell, choose up to X, where X is the number of times you chose a mode for that spell. It says you can exile the top card of your library. Until end of your next turn, you may play it. Or put a +1/+1 counter on Riku of Many Paths. It gains trample until end of turn. Or create a 1/1 blue bird creature token with flying. Got a modal typal.
There's a lot of things going on here. Now, what the hell? So, not only is everything you're gonna be playing in this deck have a mode, this has a mode. Like, dude, do you like triggers? Because you're gonna have so many.
This is the deck where I'm gonna get lost.
Yeah, 100%. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Hey, it's not that hard.
You say that, but you're gonna get caught up in the riffraff and like I'm not. That
Like,
this
if
is
you-
not. It's a good card. I like this card.
For example, Spree. If you
Y-
spreed a
yes.
card for 2 of the modes, you get to
Yeah.
pick 2 of the modes on this card.
That's true. That's exactly what that
That's
says.
it. How's that
I-
lost?
Well, no, I'm saying you're gonna be doing a lot of game actions. Is what I'm saying.
Okay. I think this just means you're gonna win, right?
What?
Just doing
I don't
more
know.
stuff.
This is like this still is a cheap or it's a creature that does nothing unless your deck is doing something. So like this could be cool, but I don't think it's I don't know.
Dave,
I'm gonna leave it at that.
Hunter's face is just like, what?
Build around it, Dave.
Yeah.
I don't
we
like
always-
cards that have the potential to literally do nothing. 3 mana for a 3/3 that does literally nothing without other cards to support it does not sound like a card I want to play.
Ooh.
There.
Rebuttal time. You could have cards before you cast this plotted. So when you do get this guy in, then you can cast your plotted cards. Let's say your spree cards. Boom. The turn it comes down, you can do some shenanigans with them. Maybe. Maybe not.
I'm on the next card.
I know.
Let's talk more about this card in our Commander Grades video. Next up, Bonny Pal, Clearcutter. It's 3 a green and 2 blue for a 6/5 legendary creature Giant Scout. It's got reach, and it says 1 Bonny Pal Clearcutter enters the battlefield. Create Bow, a legendary blue ox creature token with this creature's power and toughness are each equal to the number of lands you control. It has another ability that says whenever you attack, draw a card. Then you may put a land card from your hand or graveyard onto the battlefield.
I love
Okay.
this card so
Okay.
much.
This one's nuts. Look at how big that
That's
cow
a
is.
big ox, dude.
It's Magic's version of Paul Bunyan.
I was gonna say that, dude. Yeah. That's awesome.
Bonny Paul, dude.
And it's Simic doing
All right.
Simic things, dude.
Simic doing Simic things, dude. It's got a big smash. This is a pretty big smash. Also card draw and ramp.
Yeah.
That's kind of like all of Simic, though, right? Card draw ramp.
Yeah.
Card
I
draw
mean,
ramp.
that's what I'm saying. He's doing Simic things, dude.
I
The
was
bottom
gonna
half.
say, yeah.
Yeah. That
It
bottom
could be
half.
worse. It could be doing Boros things.
Oh, that wouldn't make no sense.
What, dude? Give things double strike.
Only Ox, remember? But
This is an ox,
This-
too.
this makes an Ox.
Yeah, I like this card a lot. I will say. Pretty good. 6 mana for a 6/5 with a reach.
That bottom half though is kind of reminiscent of Hackball, man. Got the attack trigger of putting a land on that from the battlefield or from your hand or the
Better.
graveyard. That's better.
You just always draw whenever you attack. There's
That's
no
really-
stipulation.
Really good.
Mhm. Once again, another legendary we will talk about in the Commander Grades video. Let's move on to one of those again. This next card is Vadmir, New Blood. It's 1 and a black for a 2/2 legendary creature, Vampire Rogue. So whenever you commit a crime, put a +1/+1 counter on Vadmir. This ability triggers only once each turn. And as long as Vadmir has 4 or more +1/+1 counters on it, it has Menace and Lifelink. Comes down early.
Yep. I don't like this card. It's a cute little bear with potential upside. It's not doing it for me. I don't think that committing crimes is a mechanic that I'm a big fan of.
But you do it all the time, just like
Targeting.
naturally,
Yeah.
though.
I understand that it's just like it rewards you for playing Magic the Gathering. However, it's also something that like I don't always target my opponent.
You don't have
I
to.
don't always target one of their things. It's like I feel like you have to have that critical threshold of like cards that do just generally have interactions. So like there are going to be decks where this is really good with, and there's going to be decks where it's like absolutely awful with. Maybe I just need to play around with crimes.
You know, I was gonna say, I think for a fun little game, the next time we play a game, I'm gonna have Hunter just keep track of every time you would commit a crime. Like, oh, David just did something right there. Oh, David did 19 crimes that game.
David, that just means he blew up 19 of my lands.
That's true.
No.
That's committing a crime, Dave.
I
Targeting
mean,
stuff.
I think that's more than a crime if I'm blowing up 19 of your lands.
Exactly. It's a slaughter. Stealing my land. That's a
Would it-
crime.
Would this be good in the in like a standard mono black deck, Hunter?
Potentially, yeah. I mean, I'll say, which is really weird to say, kind of vanilla. Because it just puts counters on itself and then gets Menace and Lifelink.
I'm not disagreeing with you, dude, but the fact that this has a wall of text and it's kind of vanilla.
Yeah.
See, that's
know.
why like that was my gripe with this card too. It's like it's a card that feels like it might just do nothing.
The more cards that come out of this set, it might still do something better, though. And as this card in Standard, I would say probably.
We'll
This is
see.
probably a good card in Standard. Let's move on to the next card. It's Bristly Bill, Spine Sower. It is 1 and a green for a 2/2 legendary creature plant druid. It's got landfall, which means whenever land enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. It also has another ability. You can pay 3 and 2 green, double the number of +1/+1 counters on each creature you control. Yes,
that's
sign me up.
We know. We know. No way, dude. Landfall triggers? Hunter doesn't like this.
Landfall triggers and counters.
And doubling for 5? That's
Once
nuts.
again, we have another bear. 2 mana for a 2/2.
Ooh, it's a bear.
Grows with counters.
Ooh. Dude.
Ooh.
What's that? Yeah, the bear deck I just played, dude. Throw it in there.
Yeah, Dusk.
Actually, that's nuts. Duskana, yeah,
Was it?
because Duskana, yeah, because it triggered it when it was like things attacking above their base power, which this card would do. Like, wow, this card just goes right into that.
Yes, I agree. Dave, I don't think you were very high on this card. Why not?
I don't like big dumb beaters.
This
No,
card
it's
is
a little
gonna go,
dumb beater.
this card is gonna go nuts in Standard.
I
There's-
do like how it doubles all of the +1/+1 counters. So that obviously being like a massive upside, but you do have to have some creatures that have the ability to like push damage through. I don't think this card is bad. It's just it's kind of boring to me.
Is it vanilla?
Yeah.
It's not vanilla.
At the time of recording this video, there is a current landfall Standard deck that is an absolute combo breaker. It's pretty wild. This is probably gonna slide into that as well.
Love it. Good card, good.
Good card, good. Moving on to another bear. It's Malcolm, the Eyes. It is a blue and a red for a 2/2 legendary creature, Siren Pirate. It's got flying, it's got haste, and it says whenever you cast your second spell each turn, investigate. Investigate comes to this
Straightforward.
set as well.
Just go straight into that spell slinger recon for sure, right?
Probably, yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. Investigate is like it's a cool mechanic. It's neat. I don't know. It is a 2 mana 2/2 with flying and haste. So like the downside there is like it's still a creature that's going to be able to push in for damage.
Yeah.
Gonna go nuts and
Once
limited,
again-
dude. I'll tell you right now.
What do we think about all these bears so far? These are just getting pretty wild, right?
I love me some bears, dude. Sadly,
Bears.
this one can't be
mean-
played in Descana, but whatever.
I don't know. Malcolm the Eyes probably going to see play a 2-mana 2/2 with flying and haste. Pretty
Oh,
good.
what were you gonna say, David? You said I mean.
So I understand that this plane did not exist before the Omen Path and stuff like that. So that we have a lot of like new, like we have a lot of returning characters jumping in here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I also feel like this whole set so far has been like so like multicolored legendary creature heavy that I am a little concerned. Like, is this just like a commander product? Because like I don't know. I'm seeing a lot of just like there is a lot of draw for specifically just that format.
Well, to do the number
mean,
crunch when
sure.
it's fully out, dude. But like, they were saying the past couple sets historically have just been flooding the legendary creature market.
That's true. But I think we'll talk more about Malcolm the Eyes when it comes to commander grades. So let's talk about another bear that is not legendary. That's right. We got one more bear. It's Seraphic Steed. It is a green and a white for a 2/2 creature unicorn mount. It's got first strike and lifelink, and it says when it attacks while saddled, create a 3/3 white angel creature token with flying. Got a saddle cost of 4.
Okay. Quick correction though, Hunter. This is a unicorn, not a bear.
Still a bear in the world of magic kind of information. It's a
I'm a
2-mana
little
2/2
I am a little disappointed here.
Tell me why.
because the angels can't settle it.
Yeah, the angels can't saddle the unicorn, dude.
Well, you
True.
can't. Why would an angel with wings need to ride a horse?
It's a
I mean,
unicorn.
Shut up.
2 angels with wings can ride this unicorn.
That's true. It takes 2 of them to lift. Wow, I don't know why we're dwelling on this, but
It's really cool that the clouds in the back look like wings on that.
it does.
on the
It's
unicorn.
yeah, it's really cool.
Yep. The artwork here is very, very neat. I actually do like this card a lot. Let's build unicorn decks.
Let's do it. My Little Pony.
It's- That's my takeaway so far from this set, by the way, is Ox Tribal and unicorn decks.
Okay.
You're dumb.
Moving on to 3 steps ahead. It is 1 blue mana for an instant that's got spree. So you can pay an additional 1 in a blue to counter target spell. You can pay an additional 3 generic, create a token that's a copy of target artifact or creature you control. Or you can pay 2 generic, draw 2 cards, then discard a card. Modal.
Yeah, but I don't like that cost for a counter spell
Why?
because I want that to cost 2.
I mean, that's the thing with these sprees is that like they're significantly less effective versions of like other cards, but the upside is that they just do more things.
That's true. Also, countering a target spell usually just costs 3 in standard.
I guess you're right. I'm thinking like a non-creature, like a. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I'll give it to you.
Otherwise, you're gonna have downside of like unless that controller pays 2.
Hmm.
But 3 mana counter target spell, or
Well,
4 mana create a token that's copy, or 3 mana draw 2 cards, discard a card,
I guess it's fine.
or all of them.
If they're running 3 mana counter spells in standard already, this could just be a strict upgrade. So sure.
I don't know if it's gonna be an upgrade, but there is 3 mana spells.
Why wouldn't it be an
Or
upgrade?
counters.
It's got the counter that could do more now.
Well, the 3 mana counter spell that's in standard right now exiles the card,
Okay.
so kind
This
of
one
better
also draws you 2 and discards your card.
if you pay more.
I mean, you can also whatever. Whatever.
Yeah, we're talking about it too much. Moving on to Terror of the Peaks. It is 3 and 2 red for a 5/4 creature dragon. It's got flying and says spells your opponents cast that target Terror of the Peaks cost an additional 3 life to cast. And it says whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, Terror of the Peaks deals damage equal to that creature's power to any target.
Is this a reprint?
Yes.
I thought.
Terror of the Peaks.
Cool.
A good card.
In standard, cool.
It isn't
Okay.
standard.
Coming back as a mythic, and I do love the artwork.
Mhm.
Terrifying, dude.
Yeah, new artwork is pretty cool. Haven't seen this card since the core set of 2021. It was only printed one time.
Oh.
People were questioning, why doesn't this just say Ward pay 3 life? Because it's not countering. It's just saying that you take the 3 extra life.
Yep. It does functionally work different than Ward.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, because Ward's like an option.
Yep.
Ward is
Ward
yep.
would counter it if they don't pay.
Oh, got it.
So just an FYI, when anyone is wondering why it doesn't say Ward. But Terror of the Peaks, great reprint. Good to have it back.
Cool. Love it.
Moving on to the final card we are talking about today, it is Outcaster Trailblazer. It's 2 and a green for a 4/2 creature human druid. It says when it enters the battlefield, add 1 mana of any color. And it also says whenever another creature with power 4 or greater enters the battlefield under your control, draw a card. It also has a plot for 2 and a green.
Interesting.
Good card.
Yeah, kind of like it kind of costs 2. Right? I mean, I know you have to have the 3, but gives you 1 mana back. That's kind of cool.
I don't like this.
Why not?
Why?
I feel like if you're not plotting this card is like that first ability is completely irrelevant.
Maybe it'll help you double spell in a turn. I don't know.
Sure, you could double spell in a turn.
Because you want it on the field sooner to start drawing cards maybe sooner? I don't know.
True. That's
I don't know.
true.
This card is good. It's got card draw. You can plot it. You can ramp-ish with it.
There you go. You got
Mono
options.
green.
You got options. I like it.
You'll see play in mono green.
It's like a... No, wait, no, it's not. Never mind. I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. It's like a shitty Lotus Cobra. But it's not. That's why I stopped.
You are right. It is very different than a Lotus Cobra. But yeah, that is going to do it for us today. If you guys like this video, hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Comment down below. What was your guys' favorite card we talked about today? Before we wrap up, let's go through ours. We'll start with David. David, what was your favorite card today?
Hands down, Bonny Paul.
Paul Bunyan.
Paul Bunyan, Bonny Paul, Clearcutter, Big Cow. That's a good one. Shane, what about you?
You know, after thinking about the Bears, I think I like Bristly Bill.
Yeah, I really, really like that card. I'm going to go with Roxanne. That's right. We're singing that song again. I like that card. I like new Meteorites. The other runner-up for me is probably Aven Interrupter for white counter. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
But, yep. Again, that's going to do it for us. Comment down below. What was your favorite? Already said that. I'm not going to say it again. As a reminder, check our Instagram for all of the other cards that we did not talk about today. Again, if you like cards that we didn't talk about on the final day, if it's liked enough, we will talk about it. So go and hit those likes in the description. That's @GuysAtMagic for Instagram as well. In the description, you'll find links to our Twitter and our TikTok. Same thing, @GuysAtMagic. Follow us on those as well. On the screen right now, those are all of our Patreon subscribers. Thank you guys so much for your added support. It means the world to us. If you guys wanted to see what they are seeing, which is not here on YouTube, check the link in the description as well and consider subscribing. And until the next video, hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Peace.
Later.
Bye-bye. Howdy. I mean, not yeehaw.